welcome to the BMW 3 Series. This is the 330D. It's actually got a 3-litre diesel under the bonnet. And you know what? It's the best car in the world. But there's a couple of things I wouldn't have on it. Yep, that's true. I really wouldn't buy the xDrive. I don't know what the fascination is with xDrive lately, but every BMW that comes out seems to be xDrive model, and it really kind of ruins the BMW-ness of a car, that ability to be pushed along by the car rather than be sort of pulled along by the four-wheel drive. Also, I would include active cruise control as a standard option on this, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and that sort of stuff in it as well. It's kind of messy. Anyway, back to driving. You see, BMW is absolutely fascinated by the xDrive series because a few years ago we had a bit of snow in the country, and well, a lot of the news reports came with BMW's back end sticking out of various ditches because people who were driving the rear-wheel drive ones didn't know how to drive in the snow. So now they're all going xDrive, and they really wanted to drive that all the time, but in actual fact it's kind of ruined that BMW edge that they had in driving. And the same applies for Mercedes, have done it too, but Audi is okay because Audi's always been either front wheel drive or quattro, and that's kind of the only two ways they've done it. I'm not sure what it is with BMW that separates them, that makes them think about how good a car can be, because this is the same 3 Series that I drove way back in Marbella, and I drove here in Ireland as well. It's the same one, it's just an estate version in a different colour, and yet my brain goes, this is amazing, this car is amazing. When you get this out on the motorway, you just waft along at whatever speed you choose. It doesn't seem to matter how fast you go. The faster you go, the quieter it gets. Now, it's not often I get to drive something that is remarkable like this, and I understand it's a 3-litre diesel, and I understand you environmental types out there will be going, but diesel is dead. Diesel isn't dead. I've said it before in multiple videos. ICE engines, internal combustion engines, are going nowhere for the foreseeable future. There's a lot of investment going into ICE engines because they're getting cleaner and cleaner and more clever ways to use them, because people still don't want to charge their car once a day when they want to do big commutes, or even twice a week. They want to just charge their car as an electric car once a month, like they do with some of their diesels and petrol cars. So this 3-litre diesel is not the last shout of whatever car is out there. It'll be put into other cars in the future. It'll just be a rarer sell. It'll be less of these sold. We'll go for the 2-litre diesel more often than not. Now, the amazing bit is that when the car is in Eco Pro mode, which is now, it's very tame. It just gets on with the job. And I've done huge mileage in this car. I've done about 750 odd kilometers in this car already. I can still do another 142 according to the little gauge thing. It's very quiet and cozy, and a lovely thing on a motorway driving. Comfort keeps it all nice and quiet. It's very comfortable, very stable in the road. You're not doing everything you can to save fuel, you're just doing enough. And then you have sport, where all that power comes on, and when you floor it, it feels like it's breaking your spine. It's just got this really good response to it, really quick, and a lovely pickup to the whole thing. And yet, when you want it to be, it can calm right the way down and not do anything with you at all. Now, this one doesn't have active cruise control, and it's something I miss because these kind of cars are mile munchers, you know. You drive a very, very long way in these cars and you don't come back. That's the trick of these cars. So you actually want something that is a very comfortable drive for a long way. Now, there are reasons out there why you would just pick active or just cruise control, just standard, ordinary cruise control, because it means it doesn't slow down when it sees every bloody car. You know, it's always just churning away 120. I have manual buttons and manual things to touch here, and it all works perfectly. The interface on iDrive is both complicated and easy. It depends on what you want to do with it. There's a lot going on if you want a lot going on, but there's nothing going on other screens. And it is actually a touch screen as well as having the wheel here that goes with it. Apple CarPlay seems to be just hidden away. It doesn't want to deal with it. It doesn't know what to do with your phone when you plug it in. It doesn't automatically pop up on the screen and go, do you want to use use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto? No. But what it does do is voice control very well, which is very nice. You want to set a new destination, you just literally press the microphone. New destination.
What is our destination?
Portlaoise.
destination is Port
Portlaoise is what it calls it. But
what I just wanted to say. To add navigation destinations even faster, you can just say navigation to Portlaoise.
There you go. It gives you a little lesson as well while you're sitting there. Navigation to Portlaoise. Now, all of that information comes up on the heads-up display in front of me. I can see a full map hovering out over the end of the bonnet, which is really cool. And I can see my speed, every turn I have to take, and how far away the turn is. There's a little countdown bar on the right-hand side getting shorter and shorter, telling me how far away the turn is, 500 metres, 400 metres, and so on. BMW put back in standard indicators, so it doesn't have to be touched to cancel. You don't have to touch down to cancel. So guess what, BMW drivers, you'll be able to use the indicators from now on. I know you've been taught not to, but really you should start using them again. Stop navigation.
I've ended the route guidance.
If only you could do that in real life to somebody, you know, just if you just said like, stop talking, and they would. So in town traffic is where this car ever so slightly struggles to figure out what gear it needs to be in or how much power you're actually requesting through the throttle. It's just ever so slightly jerky, but I'd be more than willing to put up with it because you've got this consistent amount of power coming from the engine that never ceases. You know, you've always got on demand, whenever you want it, as much power as you like, or as little, which is the other part of that as well, you know. The biggest roundabout on earth is on the edge of Portlaoise. It's huge, but there's only 2 lanes on it. The 3 Series is fantastic. There's no better way of describing it. It really is. In certain colours and in certain models, that's the problem, you see. In certain colours, that black around the front, the black plastic thing around the front, really is kind of weird. It is though, Beamer. You know, if you make this white or something, that thing stands out a mile on the front. Whereas in this sort of grey, this dull grey, it looks brilliant. It's a brilliant colour with the black alloys, looks brilliant. The car handles tremendously well. Really does start to make a lot of sense in your mind, particularly in a state as well, because you get a big boot and you get a good back seat. This car, as near as makes no difference, as big as a 5 Series. Like, it's just about there. So why would you buy one, really? This is the most sensible thing ever. Now, sit down a minute because, well, you know, there's no nice way of putting the price of it. This 3-litre model in automatic with the options I have on this car, so this car, 78,000 euros. Now that's a bit much. That's like, whoa, hold on a second. You know, there was houses during the crash that cost that much. 78 grand is not an easy sell for anybody. But it is a car, there's traffic lights, there is a car that it says I have made a decision on what car I'm going to drive. It's not just, I'm just going to drive a 3 Series. It's, I'm going to drive an estate 3-litre diesel 3 Series. So if I've got money, you got a bit of cash, you know, if you've got a bit of a spare wonga and you want to spend it on something good, you're not going to go far wrong by buying this one and loving it forever, essentially. Thank you to all the subscribers who has joined me so far. You've been very, very good to keep on subscribing. I'd love you to subscribe even more. Get your friends to subscribe and get all the people in there subscription-wise. It'd be wonderful. You can also support the channel from a number of links down below. This channel is unsupported, it's not sponsored by anybody. Car companies do not sponsor this channel in any way, shape or form. So get in touch on the links down below and also support the channel if you possibly can. It'd be really good for you to do that. Probably good for your health, actually. You know, it might make you feel better, a more pleasant person. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, I will see you on the far side. Behind the scenes, if this looks a bit dark, it's because I'm after getting a polarizing filter. That thing's after picking me up now. My hand signals have done that to the radio. Anyway, the behind the scenes of this is that the polarizing filter thing I bought is actually making it very dark, and I can't get the bloody thing back off the lens. So I'm going to have to fix that at some point. Jesus, old men. What is it with old men in cars? Like old men drive along and they go at 4 miles an hour and they're watching everything. So they're going, who's that there now? Oh, what's his name there now? Oh, I know him. Oh, look at the state of that house over there. That's what they're doing, do you know that? Seriously. Port is a lovely town, you know. It really is. It's had its tough times, but now it's the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing towns in Ireland. People are just moving here. There's an electric charge point there by the train station, and there's consistently 2 cars plugged into it. It's same 2 cars pretty much every day. And the reason why there's 2 cars plugged in it is because it's free still. Not for much longer. Oh, California. California Ocean. Somebody in Laois bought a California Ocean. Call me.